classified 15.9 million as repairs and maintenance, and yet it was not repairs and maintenance.
I don't believe we have a memo specific to that specific officer. Is there?
Because that was a recommendation of the Senate. You see, Governor, last week we are dealing with an impeachment proceeding, and the governor is being accused of things which, for those of us who have sat in these committees, we know that responsibility should be assigned to individual officers. And that is why this committee will want to take head-on accounting officers who commit violations of the law. That's what we are looking for. Have you addressed that? Because at the end of the day, if you don't do it, then someone will say that the governor takes ultimate responsibility. And yet there are either three or one accountant who did this.
Chair, I think, or rather I believe, for purposes of this memo, it was more as a notice. Now everybody's been put on notice. Everybody has been warned. This has been brought to their attention. And whoever now does the subsequent to this, then action will be taken. So that's what the intention of this was.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But is misclassification, if you are to classify 15.9 million as repairs and maintenance, and yet it is not repairs and maintenance, Auditor General, is that an offense under the PFM Act and regulations?
Yes, Chair, that's an offense.
So we needed you to take action on the offender, not notice to the world. Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Chair. I see this memo dated the 13th of June. Dan is Dan here. Dan is here. Dan is here. So Dan, this is a good letter. It's a good memo. But I think what the chair is trying to communicate, Governor, is that this is the second letter that should have come from you. Yeah, this is the second letter. The first letter would have been to the offending accounting officers who misclassified expenditure. And you see, we have said in this committee before, and I will repeat it, administrative action is not necessarily firing or transferring, or, I mean, administrative action could also mean retraining. Maybe an accounting officer who does not know the difference between a chair and an air ticket. I mean, how do you misclassify travel and purchase of furniture? So maybe they will need some training. And what we are saying, Governor, is you got an opportunity from the committee to properly assign responsibility, because there is a case here for a breach, properly assign responsibility and take corrective action. Now, the letter that by Odudo is a good one, but it's a second letter, telling people, in fact, you should have referenced the first one, that on account of this breach, we have taken this action, and be warned, you shouldn't do certain things. I think with your guidance, because we'll be leaving in the next 1 hour or so, you can just push this faster as we see how much ground we can cover.
My observation, and I strongly associate myself with the comments of Senator Wambua. I can see he's becoming wiser as he continues to become the governor of Kitui. Chair, maybe two quick observations. Governor, maybe just for clarification, when you received the recommendation from the Senate, was there any office that was marked for the action? Maybe is there a county secretary, or the county secretary was marked for action to be taken? And finally, through the chair, the OAG, I know you have just concluded in the review of the subsequent financial year. Did you can give us the by-eyes view if you did notice the recurrence of this misqualification? So thank you to the governor and the OAG through the chair. I yield.
OAG?
Through the chair, it's when we are doing our entries for the counties. For Nakuru, we have not. but we promise that that's what we are going to check on. And in case of any misclassification, we are going to raise the issue. And in our subsequent discussion, I think the same will come up. Thank you, Chair.
But OAG, you could have also helped us by telling us that, for example, under purchase of office furniture and general equipment, if 25 million was reported there, was misclassified there, what was this 25 million used for?
Thank you, Chair. What we are querying here, the expenditure was acquisition of asset was 2.8 in note 9. Included in the amount was 38 million relating to the purchase of office furniture and general equipment. However, the amount included in the balance of 25, which was in respect of items that were misclassified. So in this case, it may be, because we don't have the details may be are in our management letter. These are more related to repairs.
So maybe since Governor, your officers also agree with the observation of the Auditor General, and that's why they issued this warning. So, for example, this 25 million, which was misclassified under office furniture, where should it have been classified?
I'll have the CC
Yeah,
finance.
please proceed. What ought to be the account on which it was charged? Or what was it? What is this 25 million that you put under office furniture, which should not have been under office furniture?
Chair, I think it was an error during preparation of the financial statement. And that's why...
It can't be an error because it's an expenditure. You spent the money on something. So what is it that you spent on? And then you lumped up in that account. Because we need to know, was it on tea? Was it on insurance? Was it on shere? Or there was nothing, so 25 million was posted there to balance numbers. You see, Auditor, that's what you need to help us understand. Was that 25 million posted there to balance the accounts? Or that 25 million was spent on something that went to the county?
Okay, Chair. Thank you, Chair. The 25 million, as we have queried, it was among the 38 that was reported. However, all these details we normally give in our management letter, and because it's not specified as outside the purchase of furniture, I believe it's normally related to repairs, and repair is maintenance. So the account for acquisition of asset is different from the continuous expenses operations.
National Treasury?
Thank you, Chair. Treasury take notice that there is the aspect of incompetence on the part of the officers who are handling these documents, in that somebody is not able to actually know the right item to charge. And the budget is itemized. There is a reason why it is itemized and even approved when it is itemized. And I also take notice that we've already discussed about training cost of 93 million. So maybe the county could be training or the wrong personnel, or maybe this personnel who are handling these finances requires more training so that they can be able to know the relevant item to charge.
Senator Adula?
Chair, I just wanted to know whether there was a loss of funds. Number two, whether the officer who did the misclassification is still within the same department.
Governor?
Chair, and by the way, Chair, let me just point out, when I woke up this morning, I think I had pinched my nerve on my neck. I just want to put that out there. And so that's why I'm having a problem turning around like that in case I'm
Yeah, so you're turning like a truck.
You can see that. I could see in your eyes, you're looking at me a bit funny. But so let me have Dan answer this question kindly.
Yeah, Dan, as you answer the question, tell us that there was an actual expenditure which then was misclassified to purchase of furniture. What was that expense on? That's what we want to know.
Thank you, Chair. Now, if you look at purchase of furniture, is actual acquisition, but there are repairs on this furniture, which you use the repairs and maintenance vote. So the error was they capitalized part of these repairs into the furniture acquisition. That brought the misclassification.
That has not addressed the question. It is very simple. You are giving us a lecture on accounts.
Yes.
Senator Dulu has just asked, was there loss of funds?
No, there is no loss of funds.
Was it lawful to post domestic expenditure on foreign foreign travel?
Now, what happens when you come to domestic and foreign? At times when you are going on foreign, part of the foreign travel is domestic, because when you leave Nakuru to come to Nairobi to the airport, you are still on domestic.
Wait a minute.
So
you have already accepted that it was a misclassification.
Yes.
So your explanation is moot.
Yes.
So is that lawful?
It's not lawful to misclassify.
Yes.
It's not
So
lawful.
if it is not lawful, is it possible to identify the officer who did the misclassification?
Yes, it is.
And has administrative action in form of a warning, reprimand, training been taken on that officer?
Yes, on receipt of the Senate recommendation, we forwarded the documents to the relevant department. That's the...
What we have here is a letter addressed to all accountants.
Yes.
I don't think all accountants are incompetent in Nakuru. What we needed you to deal with are the ones who made the 3 posting errors.
Yes.
Why do you want to portray all your accountants as incompetent? I don't think a county with a city would be in that situation. So I think the long and short of it is this. Accountability cannot be global. It must be individual.
Because I asked, let me just maybe ask that question again. That 25,771,536 was misclassified and put under purchase of furniture and general equipment.
Yes.
It was misclassified.
Yes.
Now I'm asking, this money was not used to purchase furniture.
Yes.
What was it used for?
It was used on repairs and maintenance.
And do we have the documents here to show that it was used for purchase of for repairs?
For now, we did not carry those details, but I promise to give the committee the
My gut
details.
instinct is telling me this money was just used for balancing.
Yeah, because that's the impression one gets. Senator Wambua.
Chair, you know, there is a big problem when people try to talk too much when they're answering a simple question. Odudo, that's your name, right?
Yes.
Was taking a very dangerous path, Chair, until you stopped him, trying to explain the difference between domestic travel and foreign travel. And was trying to tell you that for foreign travel, there is always a component of domestic travel. That if you are coming from Nakuru going to London, then the domestic part is from Nakuru to JKIA. Then from there, it becomes, after the runway, then it is foreign. You see, when we say there is need for training, Chair, this is exactly what we are talking about. Because if that is a confusion then that we have, you will find a lot of those things that you're dealing with. You're buying furniture, you're spending money on furniture, spending money on repairing the furniture, but you say, because this money is being spent on furniture that had already been bought, it is also part of acquisition of furniture. It's a serious problem, Chair. And the decision as to whether money was lost or not cannot be Odudo's to tell us. It is the auditors who tell us whether money was lost. Because they're not carrying out an audit here.
I agree. Auditor, you want to make a comment before I ask the governor to comment, then we give directions?
No, Chair.
You have had the last challenge from Senator Wambua. that if whether money was lost or not cannot come from the client. It needs to come from you.
Yes, Chair, I can make a comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, from our appendix, I believe it was repairs they have stated, and this one can only be corrected by doing a journal, which they ought to have provided us with a journal entry to correct the financial statement, which, from our view, we felt that we'll look at it as we do the final accounts, as we do our audit. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, before, sorry, Senator Chirage, you wanted to make a comment? Or
No,
we
no, no,
ask
I
the
think the
governor
OAG has just answered.
Your final comment before we give the way forward on this?
Oh, thank you, Chair. I have gotten what exactly it is that you would have wanted to see. And part of what we shall do when we get back there is more, maybe even retraining of these accountants. Thank you.
This matter, even though the OAG has marked it as resolved, we shall keep it in view. We will advise the OAG to keep it in view. We have seen some effort around administrative action. It is not sufficient. It needs to be specific. It needs to be directed to the accounting officers or the accountants who caused the problem, so that we don't scandalize all the accountants. Secondly, the journal entries ought to be demonstrated, and OAG will be checking on that. And finally, you know, it's easy to say the governor is a CEO, so she knows everything. But I think we have sat here long enough to know that there are certain issues that we must put squarely in the hands of the officers, because the PFM Act and regulations give them that responsibility. So, Mr. Odundo, from your demeanor, you don't look like a man who needs further training. Just apply your knowledge to ensure that the right thing is done. And when I look at the signatories to these financial statements, I can see that they were signed by a Mr. Joseph Malinda, who is a CPSK, who is a member of the Law Society of Kenya, and a Mr. Wilson Mungai, who is a member of ISPAC. So if people with such sterling credentials cannot render proper financial statements, then I think we are having a problem, because this then goes beyond training. In fact, that will then point to the suspicion about that 45.8 million being a balancing act, but OAG keep it in view. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7.
Yes, Chair.
What are the other?
The other, we move to lawfulness under paragraph number 25 on failure to establish departmental training committees. Management did not establish departmental training committees, which may have negatively impacted on the efficient management of training functions for the county executive. This was contrary to paragraph 1.2 of the County Public Service Human Resource Manual 2013 that requires the county to establish departmental training committees to manage the functions.
So that's also another HR related issue.
Yes, and they provided quite a number of them in appendix.
Honorable members, because that's a policy issue, we might not need to go into a lot of details, but I believe that of our list of shame on wage bill, Governor, I think you are around 40% of total revenues. Where is it at? My numbers here indicate something around 40%.
Yeah, about there.
Which is above the 35% threshold. There was a special audit done by the OAG on human resource across the counties, and those reports have been tabled before the House. And if you're at 40%, you'll be one of those counties that will be calling to go through that report, so that we have a much deeper conversation on that. Because you can see the first two issues we dealt with were on training policy, and now we are talking of departmental what?
Training committees.
Yeah, so there seems to be quite a number of issues around HR, but I'm happy that there seems to be corrective action being undertaken in that space. So we can mark that as resolved, but we'll have to discuss your report on HR in Nakuru at a different meeting. The last resolved matter?
Sorry, the last one is on number 4 on internal controls on non-compliance with climate change regulations, which they have provided quite a number of reports on the same.
OIG, the last one was on?
The last one
controls?
is on internal controls, number 4, on non-compliance with the climate change regulations, which they have provided way forward.
Okay, climate change regulations. This is all to do with FLOCA and the Climate Change Fund, Climate Change Act. This has now been done. From your assessment, it has been done?
It's been done and they have provided. I was just looking for their next, so they are quite a lot.
Okay. So those are the only 7 issues that in your assessment have been resolved?
Yes, Chair, and one is partially resolved on pending bills.
On pending bills?
Yes.
Pending bills is a matter that would be kept in view. In fact, I think now that you are doing the audit, it would make more sense if you did a much more rigorous assessment on it. Even though if time allows, we might go into it and find out how you have taken action in line with our recommendations.
Thank you, Chair. Noted.
So those are the 7 which we have either ticked off or we have kept in view.
Yes, Chair.
So we are remaining with 38.
No, we had 45.
You have-
7 addressed from our view and 1 partially.
Well, if it's partial, it's not addressed. So we are still remaining with 38 issues.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
But before you leave internal controls, there's a recommendation that we made, which if the governor has not implemented it, then we'll think that she's not taking the recommendations of the Senate seriously. The establishment of an audit committee. How, Governor, from your response, there is no evidence that you have established an audit committee. How would Nakuru, such a big county with a city, not have an audit committee? What is the difficulty in establishing an audit committee? Because without an audit committee, then internal control, internal audit is completely useless. An auditor or treasury, you will need to explain to us the importance of an audit committee in that context, because they don't have it, unless there's evidence that that has been established. Governor?
Thank you, Chair. We actually advertised for it last.
Gutumbesi, Senator for Samburu, and member of this committee.
Good morning, Chair. Team from Nakuru Governor, it's good to see you. My name is Edwin Sifuna, Senator Nairobi, and a member of this committee.
Good morning, Governor and team. My name is Jones Maruma. I'm the Senator representing Taita Taveta, Vice Chair to this committee.
Tumadula is your member.
Morning, Chair, members, Governor Nakuru and your team. My name is Eno Kwamboa, Senator Kitui County, a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair, Governor, Senator, it's good to see you. And Karibu, Cherargei Kiprotich is my name, Senator of the Republic of Kenya from Nandi County.
Thank you, members. My name is Moses Otieno Kajwang, Senator from Homa Bay. I chair the committee. We are supported by a team of clerks. Please go on record.
Good morning. My name is George Otieno, Committee Clerk.
Good morning, Kibet Kevin, Committee Clerk.
Good morning, John Mahinda, Researcher.
Good morning, Malcolm Gogi, Legal Counsel.
Good morning, Shali Milimu, Hansard Officer.
Good morning, Farah Hassan, Attaché of this committee.
Good morning, Brandon Duke, Attaché.
Chair, that's all from us.
Thank you. The Office of the Auditor General.
Morning, Chair and members. I'm Muriuki Patrick, the liaison officer.
Morning, Chair and members. My name is Lono Chieng, Deputy Director from Nakuru Regional Office, Office of the Auditor General.
Chairman.
You're welcome. From the National Treasury.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Senator, the Governor Nakuru County. My name is Reverend CPA KIHIKA from the National Treasury Liaison Office.
Karibu from Control of Budget.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Gilbert Gachanja from Office of the Control of Budget. Thank you.
And finally, EACC.
Thank you. Good
I'm the
morning,
Senator
Chair.
representing Taita Taveta, Vice Chair to this committee.
Tumadulo Isiolo, member.
Morning, Chair, members, Governor Nakuru and your team. My name is Eno Kwamboa, Senator Kitui County, a member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair, Governor, Senator. It's good to see you. And Karibu, Cherargei Kiprotich is my name, Senator of the Republic of Kenya from Nandi County.
Thank you, members. My name is Moses Otieno Kajwang, Senator from Homa Bay. I chair the committee. We are supported by a team of clerks. Please go on record.
Good morning. My name is George Otieno, Committee Clerk.
Good morning, Kibet Kevin, Committee Clerk.
Good morning, John Mahinda, Researcher.
Good morning, Malcolm Gogi, Legal Counsel.
Good morning, Shali Milemo, Hansard Officer.
Good morning, Farah Hassan, Attaché of this committee.
Good morning, Brandon Duke, Atachi.
Chair, that's all from us.
Thank you. The Office of the Auditor General.
Morning, Chair and members. I'm Muriuki Patrick, the liaison officer.
Morning, Chair and members. My name is Lono Chieng, Deputy Director from Nakuru Regional Office, Office of the Auditor General.
Chairman.
You're welcome. From the National Treasury.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Senator, the Governor Nakuru County. My name is Reverend CPA KIHIKA from the National Treasury Liaison Office.
Karibu from Control of Budget.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Gilbert Gachanja from Office of the Control of Budget. Thank you.
And finally, EACC.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair and honorable members. Patricia Chebet from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
You're welcome. The Senator from Nakuru is not physically present here, but we have discussed it. I think there was a lapse on the part of the Secretariat in alerting her of this meeting. But all the same, there is someone representing the office of the Senator. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Kibet Kirui, PA to the Senator for Nakuru, Honorable Tabitha Karanja Keruchi. Thank you.
Karibu, and we have put it on record that we have put our apologies to the Senator. The Secretariat have owned up that they didn't circulate the notice in good time, and so that could be the only reason why she's not here. We go to the other stakeholders. Clerk, did we invite the County Assembly?
Chair, no, the invitation went late as well.
So we had a problem with the invitation to the Assembly and the invitation to the Senator. I think it's a matter that we have already discussed. We have given relevant reprimand to the Secretariat, and it is a matter that will not recur again. Once again, we tender our apologies to the County Assembly of Nakuru for not alerting them in good time, and to the Senator Nakuru for not alerting them in the proper manner. Governor Nakuru.
Well, thank you, Chair, and thank you, members. I'm Susan Kihika, Governor Nakuru County, and I'll let my members introduce themselves.
Proceed.
Good morning, Chair, members. Stephen Jogu, CCM in charge of Finance and Economic Planning, Nakuru County.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members. I'm Evelyn Kakai, the Chief Officer Economic Planning.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Peter Kichenya, Chief of Staff.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Bernard Namnane, Director Communications, Nakuru.
Morning, Chair. My name is Dan Odundo, Director Finance, Nakuru.
Thank you, Chair. My name is James Katiwa, Deputy Director in charge of financial reporting.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Kigunda Patrick, Director in charge of Efficiency Monitoring Unit, Office of the Governor.
Honorable Chair, members, my name is Matilda Nyembe. I'm in charge of revenue reporting, Nakuru County Government.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Job Ireri, Revenue Reconciliation and Reporting Unit.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Beatrice Ndiho, an accountant in Financial Reporting Unit.
Is that it for the governor's delegation? If that is the case, then we'll proceed to the next order, which is administration of oath.
Thank you. I, Susan KIHIKA, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee, in respect of the matters before the committee, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Next, you will proceed to table your written responses.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you, Chair. I hereby table the following documents before the committee: the management responses and accompanying annexures for the report of the County Public Accounts Committee on the report of the Auditor General on audited financial statements for the County Executive of Nakuru for the financial year 2023-2024, and 2 management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the receiver of revenue for the County Executive of Nakuru for the financial year 2023-2024.
So, having tabled the responses, Auditor General, could you confirm that you received them in good time and you've been able to peruse, and you can advise us today?
Thank you, Chair. We received the response in time. We discussed with the team, and we are ready to proceed. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Clerk of the Senate.
Yes, Chair, I do confirm that we received the responses in good time.
Your mic is off.
I do confirm that. Chair, I do confirm that we received the responses in good time.
Okay, fine. So if we are able to proceed, so before we get into the substantive report, Senator Cherage?
Chair, maybe on a preliminary, maybe it has escaped, we were discussing with Deputy Minority Leader. On Monday, some of us traveled to Nairobi for a meeting of Nairobi City County. Chair, it was unfortunate that we received change of notice of meeting late into the day. I remember even my brother, Senator Wambua, in our official engagement was already in Nairobi. Personally, Chair, I was mid-air, left the ground. Chair, I don't know, maybe you can guide us in future. How and when should a meeting be rescheduled? Because I also think it was unfair for you, having mobilized us from Friday, that since Nairobi City County is a huge county, that we needed all of us, the decks on the hand, to prosecute the matter. Chair, while I appreciate that some meetings can fail to happen because of many other considerations, it's always also fair to the Senate, because by the fact that we sit like this, there is resources being used, members have left their engagements, Chair, to be here. I understand what the governor of Nairobi, Sakaja, was going through, but I thought the right channels that should be used to engage the Senate is constitutionally recognized avenues. Even if we wanted to see the powers be, there was no excuse not to be here. Remember, Chair, this is the second time that he's requesting rescheduling. I know the MCS of Nairobi, that was a serious fluke on their part. And I don't know whether the MCAs of Nairobi, someone will take them serious going into the future. But the point I'm trying to make, the reason this committee are here, Chair, is to look at these audit reports. And Chair, if a small county like Lamu, if a small county like Lamu can appear before the Senate, Chair, why is it that Nairobi City County, and the governor is a former senator, does not want to appear before the Senate, Chair? So, Chair, I call for your guidance and wisdom that there are no governors that are above the law. The Constitution provides that every governor, including our sister Governor Susan KIHIKA, they must and should appear before the constitutionally. They can do the kangaroo, they can do chini ya miti, they can do that one, especially on Sunday and Saturday. They can do their own things with elders and everything. But what we are demanding, Chair, let the respect of the role of Parliament be respected. It cannot be. It cannot be. It cannot be, Chair, that we come, wait to do a meeting, the meeting is being, and you know this is a constitutional meeting. It's not a church meeting, it's not a bridegroom meeting or a baby shower meeting. This is a constitutional meeting that should be respected. Therefore, the governor of Nairobi, Chair, I request humbly, in fact, he should appear in the next 7 days before this committee. Or else, of course, the consequences are unknown, Chair. So, regardless, he has a fight with MCAs and their own. We want to see the money that is allocated and appropriated to Nairobi is used in the right manner. And Governor Sakaja should and must appear before this committee to account for every penny that Nairobi City County has received from Kenyans, because those are taxpayers' money, Chair. And we will agree whether the impeachment has been so for 60 days or what, that is none of our business. But the MCAs in future must be serious with their job, Chair. We expected that matter to come to the Senate. We would have given it the necessary attention that it deserves and handle it as per the constitutional process, Chair. So I hope the next time when there is a scare of impeachment, he should not run around. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, I think since the Senate constitutionally sits as a judge and it's the trial chamber on impeachment, we should not comment on that. We should not even anticipate debate. We should not even comment on the conduct of the lower court in this particular matter. But with regards to non-appearance, I think it's not just Nairobi. This week we have had letters from governors seeking postponement without giving proper excuse or proper reason. It was Nairobi. We received a letter from Isiolo, also at the 11th hour. I think there's a letter that we have just considered. We actually had a preliminary discussion on this. So at the risk of repeating that conversation, we have given directions. You recall last week, or 2 weeks ago, we had a very untidy situation where Embu, the auditors were here, the team from Embu was around, and then at night the governor decides that she can't come. We had a similar situation with Nandi, where the team flew to Nairobi, and they flew together with the Auditor General to Nairobi, and then the governor decides that he's not coming. And so there are a number of counties that have been in that space. Indeed, even Nakuru, there's a point at which we invited Nakuru, and we could not get the governor because the information we got was that she was out of the country. So there are situations that are understandable, but there are also situations that border on contempt, particularly postponements that come maybe a day to a meeting. I remember last week we discussed this extensively, and at the preliminary stages we have agreed that we must ensure that in October all these counties that have sought postponement on frivolous grounds must appear before this committee. You can seek postponement once, probably twice, but the third time you'll be compelled to appear. And that is not something we have invented, that is something that is in the Constitution and that is in the standing order. So whether it is Nairobi or Isiolo or Nandi or Embu or Mombasa or any of those other counties that are forming a habit of dodging the Senate, we are clear in our minds. The Speaker made very clear resolutions that this exercise of accountability is our constitutional mandate. So if anybody thinks that they will go with the advice of some of our political leaders that this exercise should be done at the County Assembly, then you'll be doing it at your own risk and at your own peril. Senator Wambua.
Chair, I will just put myself on record on that issue. Unfortunately, a lot of the problems that we seem to be facing in this committee in regard to appearances seem to be coming from either former senators or former members of the National Assembly who are now sitting as governors. The Nairobi issue sticks out because on several occasions there have been attempts to look into the accounts of that county, and they've been frustrated last minute. Chair, I think the thing that you may need to do with the support of this committee is to make it extremely painful for governors who choose a last minute that they are not going to be appearing before a committee. Because you see, Chair, the problem is, if we say it's okay, so because they have sent a letter of postponement, let's reschedule them for another time, all of them will realize that it is something they can do. And within a very short period of time, you'll find that you have no governors to hold to account. So that should be put on record. And then lastly, will be the issue, Chair, which we can discuss maybe outside this meeting. There are governors who are supposed to be appearing before us next week and who are now clients of the ES. Actually, they are court clients now. They've been processed in court, and those issues that are being canvassed there are part of the recommendations that this committee made. So how do you deal with that situation? They still appear, don't they appear? The Nairobi governor, I don't understand the correlation between his impeachment and appearing to account for his work. Really, the two are not related in any way. I would be advising, if you can take my advice, Chair, for whatever it is worth, reject the request from Kiambu and let's see what happens. Just reject the request and insist on him appearing. Tomorrow. Yeah, let's see what happens. Correct. Because you know these things of people just deciding. We have schedules, Chair. We have things to do in our counties. Yes. So we are on recess. So when you come here, we don't come and then people just decide they are not appearing. And I want to take this opportunity maybe to thank Senator Nakuru for Governor. You know, always once a senator, always a senator. But Senator Governor Nakuru for appearing. I thank you, Chair.
When we deliberated on this extensively a week or two, Treasury Reverend, you indicated that there are provisions in law that could allow us to.
So he should appear.
Chair, I thought what should happen, we should use the ostrich principle, because it's a late cancellation. Even if we have to invite him, the parliamentary procedure demands that there is a timeline. We cannot just invite him within 2 days. So we should, the Chair, there should be a communication to indicate that the acceptance of that letter was not done by the committee, so that it becomes easy. Then tomorrow, Chair, we convene for a meeting. If they don't appear within the stipulated timeline, then we adjourn and then you pronounce the consequences to the entity. I think
so.
That's the best.
I think this is why we usually have the meeting before the governor is sworn in, because I wouldn't want the issues of Nakuru to be mixed up with the issues of Nairobi and Kiambu and Isiolo and other counties. So we will revert to our earlier conversation, and maybe once we are done with Nakuru, we shall revisit this issue to allow us to focus on Nakuru County. Honorable members, you had indicated that we must be done by 2:30 2:30 p.m. Because of other commitments that members have, it being recess. So I'd like us to go straight now to the matters of Nakuru. Auditor General, we have 2 reports, and this is probably the thickest audit report we have seen so far. Does a number of pages have a proportional relationship to the instances of theft in Nakuru?
Chair, not really, but the volume speaks to the issues that we addressed. We had a total of 45 issues, which out of them 7 have been addressed from our view and 1 partially addressed, with the 37 remaining outstanding, Chair.
So only 7 have been addressed?
Yes, Chair.
Out of 45?
Yes, Chair.
Governor, what percentage is that?
Chairman, as I compute that, we also had committee recommendations together now with the audit issues. Maybe they can also clarify on that.
Okay, that's what percentage?
16%.
It's actually 15%. 15% is a very low rate, and you have heard someone say that we're having problems with governors who are former colleagues. You would have expected that our former chief whip would have a better success rate than 15%. So that's fairly low and disappointing. Patrick, you wanted clarity on?
Chairman, more than the audit issues, this committee had also made its own recommendations on top of the audit issues. Yep. Maybe that clarification can also be given whether they have also been able to address the committee recommendations.
I thought that the 7 were implementation of the recommendations of the committee, or was it addressing the audit issue?
Yes, it was addressing in line with the audit issues and the committee recommendations, because the recommendations come from our observations, Chair.
So what we do, let's first deal with the easy ones. We first tick off the issues that have been resolved, put it on record, so that we are now left with the issues that, in your view, remain outstanding. And it will be fairly easy because, governors, you do recall when we first invited you, you were to appear before this committee. But I think you wrote to us that you are out of the country. And so we took your written responses. It is on the basis of the written responses that we made the recommendations that are here. So if we made a recommendation which has not been implemented today, then there is no...
And the handing over of the flag will be to the captain, Julius Yego. As a clear sign that His Excellency has blessed them with his blessing to represent Team Kenya. And we'll now have a photo opportunity with the team. And just for the benefit of those who may not be aware, the captain is Julius Yego, who needs no introduction. He is the one who won gold in Beijing, javelin and silver in